Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much for attending today. Today's session is on Microsoft Purview, safeguard data in the era of AI, how to strengthen security for the AI age. It'll be a 45-minute session. Today's sessions will also be recorded, which you'll have access to in a couple of days. It'll automatically get sent to you. And you can also request a copy of this deck. Amir and myself have just gone through this deck. There is a lot of content. We're going to get straight into it. Before that, though, let me share with you a quick video.
Marker?
The age of agentic AI is upon us, and with it, a new frontier of work that helps you get intelligence in depth, increase productivity, and elevate potential. For us to unlock the potential of AI, we must start with trust, and trust starts with security.
That's why security is our #1 priority at Microsoft. We put it above all else, building products that are secure by design, secure by default, and with secure operations all around.
We deliver an AI-first, end-to-end security platform to address all your needs, from AI apps to platforms to agents, from code to cloud, from external threats to insider risks.
Using generative AI to protect at AI speed and scale, we help defenders proactively protect what matters most.
We make products that work with your existing investments, not ask you to replace them.
Our services help mitigate risks, respond to breaches, and reduce the burden on your operations, so you can focus on what matters.
We work with the entire ecosystem to offer you comprehensive protection.
So today, tomorrow, and beyond, security can create opportunity for you. We know trust has to be earned every day, and we are so grateful for yours.
Trust. It's all about trust. A fantastic message from Microsoft. Very quick introduction. I'll be talking to you a little bit about what I learned at Ignite and about Agent 365. I'll also talk a little bit about cyber attacks in APAC. There will be a quick poll just because we want to understand our audience a little bit. And then Amir will introduce himself in a minute and talk about Gen AI in security as well, and how Purview and his brand new lightweight guide that he and his team have come up with. Then I'll probably jump back on and talk a little bit about Exego Protect and some of our assessments that we have available for you as well. So let's get cracking. My name is Ben Opert. I look after Exego Tech's transformation for business applications and AI. I've been in the industry about 23 years, focusing on ERP systems, but more recently on AI. And Amir, please, can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Amir Jafarian, product manager from Customer Experience Engineering team. I'm part of Security Product Group. I'm in Microsoft for 7 years, been in IT over 20 years, and I work in multiple teams, but now I'm focusing on working with the partner globally, and then helping with the technical, and also working with the partner to learn from partners about our Microsoft security products and to share feedback with our product team. Thanks. But we also have a special guest today. I'll leave it back. And Ben,
we do. And listen, Amir and I have only just met, but we've spent so much time together diving deep into this workload. It's incredible. We only have a 45-minute session. I wish we had a 2-hour and 45-minute session. We do have a special guest. Meet our new, I would say a nasty guest, maybe, Shiny Spider. Now, Shiny Spider is a brand new autonomous ransomware as a service operator, has claimed more than 1,500 victims in 2025, has earned over $300 million, works day and night, and loves a long, deep walk in your network. AI is a wonderful thing, but in the bad hands, it's extremely dangerous as well. I really like this slide that I saw at Microsoft Ignite. In today's digital landscape, it's not a matter of if your organization will face a cyber threat, but when. Cyber resilience, not just prevention, is now essential for business survival. Now, I do want to share a little bit what I learned about in San Francisco when I was at Ignite. It was the end of November, and Microsoft talked about a brand new agentic future and a brand new solution called Agent 365. Nirav Shah from Microsoft delivered a terrific event. He's the SVP of the Microsoft Agent 365 workload, and it's now available for you. Nirav was sharing how he noticed all the billboards on the way to the event, and they were all talking about AI. and how this message is literally everywhere. Then he walked us through this new Microsoft 365, Agent 365, which is your surface plane for all your agents and how it works and how it's fundamentally changing everyone. And they talked about the frontier future. Now, the frontier future is what IDC predicted, an agentic AI experience, and it's expected to triple and see a four-time growth over those who are slow adopters. And that it is really what we are seeing. AI is fundamentally changing how work is getting done, refining roles in every process across every organization. And it's that what we are seeing out in the market over and over again. Even at Exegotech, we are building our first frontier firm work models. And I can tell you, it's incredible to work with new, not just humans in their workload, but agents as well. So more on that at another time. But he continued to share that the organizations that really make the leap into this and into embracing AI and what it's capable of are really seeing results, rather than those who are just sticking to the status quo. And that's what really being a frontier firm is all about. When you think about frontier firms and how that evolves, and it all starts with human ambition at its core, people using their intellect and creativity to deliver business results. Increasingly, those people are now being supported by co-pilots and personal assistants, as well as agents, removing the mundane and letting people use their intellect and their ideas to keep going so they can deliver impactful results. And increasingly, people and co-pilots are being created by agents. These AI agents that now understand the business process and they can execute on them on behalf of users, unleashing new levels of creativity, results in productivity for your organization. AI is going to be, and there is going to be a ton of AI agents, over 1 billion of them in a very short period of time. To put that into perspective, that's roughly an agent for every 5 people on the planet. Think about that. It's a staggering number, and that you're going to have to deal with it. In fact, thousands of these agents are already running across frontier firms today, as I mentioned here at Exegotech as well, and the numbers are going to keep on growing. Now, you're probably thinking, well, that's great, but I have a lot of concern about this. How am I going to operate all these agents across my organization? How am I going to deal with all the risks that this brings? And you need to know, can I actually operate all these agents, regardless of the platform or infrastructure? How do I know that these agents are going to work with my organizational guardrails to keep me safe and compliant and secure every time they run? And who's going to be responsible for these agents? Who's going to manage their life cycle, make sure they work every single time someone needs them? And ultimately, are these agents actually delivering the value and the results that I need for my business as a frontier business? That's why Microsoft created Agent 365, a control plane for all your agents. With Microsoft Agent 365, you can deploy, manage, secure all the agents in your organizations, whether they are from Microsoft in Microsoft Agent Factory or from an ever-growing list of agents across the industry. AI tools, AI all using the exact same tools and systems that you're already familiar with. Now, please let me show a quick video on Agent 365 in action.
AI agents are becoming part of everyday work, helping teams move faster, automate tasks, and scale ideas. The big question is, how do you keep it all secure, compliant, and under control? The good news is, you don't need to start from scratch. Give agents the same tools as your users. Extend your existing infrastructure, apps, and protections to agents, leveraging familiar capabilities tailored to their needs. With Microsoft Agent 365, every agent is registered, visible, and governed, all in one place. The result? Strong security, enhanced confidence, and a simpler path to scalable AI.
Agent 365 provides those fundamental elements that you need to manage, secure, and run all your agents, starting from a single registry, so you have all the visibility on every single agent in your organization, enforcement of access controls, so you can stay compliant and protected at every turn. So that was a quick overview of Agent 365, which forms the basis of security compliance in combination with Purview, Entra, and Defender. Now, let me continue with an update on what's happening in cybersecurity and the current threat landscape in APAC. Now, here is some recent, in the last 11 months, breaches across APAC. Now you can click ahead. This is an interactive slide, but let me call out a couple. Berhad, also known as Malaysian Airport Holdings, faced a cyber attack where hackers demanded $10 million. The government refused to give in to the criminals' demands, instead planning to allocate more funds to strengthen the country's cybersecurity systems. Or how about here in Australia, Legal Practices Board Western Australia, who were breached in May and are still coming to grips with the disaster. Or, again in Australia, Metricon in July faced a breach and 128 gigabytes of highly sensitive data was breached. They did not know about it for 3 days. So here are some numbers to take a closer look at the numbers in Australia. 377 organizations in Australia alone in the last 11 months and across 10 different sectors. You can see financial services, healthcare, and manufacturing are the most common attacks here. Now, I do want to introduce you to this rather nasty group of people. It's called Scatus Lapsus Hunters, probably the most prolific ransomware group in the world at the moment. It is a combined cyber criminal alliance formed in mid-2025 by merging 3 prominent hacking groups, Scattered Spider, Lapsus Hunter, and Shiny Hunters. This group is noteworthy for targeting major global organizations like Qantas, Toyota, Disney, and IKEA with tactics like social engineering, phishing, smishing or SIM swapping, ransomware, and data extortion. Now, for example, Jaguar Land Rover was the latest UK household name that had a massive breach from Scattered Lapsus Hunters, which shut down production. And anyone recall a few months ago, British transport company K&P Logistics, founded in 1867. In July 2025, they shut down permanently after ransomware attacks exploited a single weak password, leaving 700 people unemployed. They were not able to overcome the problem. Now, this group is said to be behind more than 40 major corporate breaches, including Qantas, that lost 153 gigabytes of data. Now, the ACCC is still mulling over the fines. They're going to be very hefty. We'll have to wait to see what happens. Now, this group of mostly young teenagers test and boast about their prowess using the latest tactics and tricks to infiltrate your business and offer bragging rights. So, and I do have a little bit of bad news. I introduced you quickly before a brand new ransomware. It's a ransomware as a service called Shiny Spider. It's a fully autonomous AI-generated ransomware as a service solution. Terrible stuff. I'm not going to read through the list of things that it does. It's right there in front of you. But at the end of the day, it encrypts with SHA-20 encryption, with top RSA 2048-bit encryption, and randomizes the extensions. This is really hard to fight against. Now, this ransomware's frontier firm. They're using AI to attack us. Is your business ready? Can we help you become ready? I'm just going to leave this on the screen for a minute because you can request this at the end of the session if you'd like. But there's some excellent data from Microsoft on the Microsoft Security Index report. It's a great resource, and I suggest you share this with your teams just so they can understand that this is a serious issue that needs to be resolved. Now, before I hand it over to Amir, we have a couple of poll questions. So let me just bring up the polls. That should happen in a minute. And then Amir, if you'd like to take over and talk to us a little bit about Purview.
So far we talked about, Ben mentioned about those, ransomware that ran a spider one, and then we talked about all those challenges now with generative AI and what's going on in the agentic world. Let's see now how it's going to impact us and how we can protect or how we can improve our data security and posture, data security posture, right? Go to the next one. Okay, so generative AI gives us enormous capability, right? It helps with productivity, it's make everything faster, but at the same time, it also create new places where attackers can target us. As you see, it's like now, it's not just we benefiting from it, attackers also benefiting from it. We still have all those traditional threat vectors like, application, identity, endpoint, network, data, cloud. But on top of that, now we have generative AI, which introduced a completely new attack surface, where you have prompts, responses, AI orchestration, training data, RAG models, plugins. Think of like any of these get compromised going to be used against us. So it's not, you can change, if someone gets access to the training data and then change it, then think of how it can impact us. And on the next layer, you can see we have amplified risk with generative AI. Let's think of data leakage, jailbreak, indirect prompt injection, model vulnerability, hallucination, right? It's like these are critical issues. Like we should be ready. We should think about it. We should have solution for it. We talk about data leakage today because it's about data security today, but there is all of these are important, like indirect prompt injection, right? It's just think of like someone used the source data used by the AI and respond to you from the hacker side. And also hallucination is where you can always trust AI. So people say, oh, AI said this is right? So these are all the challenges we are facing. So how we're going to trust AI, how we're going to make sure we are safe in this world. To secure the data, organization need first to discover the hidden risk of the data. So you should know your data. You should have a way to discover your data. You should know what type of data you own, how the data gets shared externally, internally between different teams, right? So this is, again, the critical piece of data. So discovery, knowing your data. And then when we know our data and then how sensitive our data are, who should have access, who shouldn't have access, what shouldn't be shared externally, well, which one are highly confidential, right? Secret projects, then we need a policy or process in place to protect them and prevent from data loss. So it's like, think of the solution where based on the discovery of the data, based on sensitivity of data, you want to have protection in place and prevention of the data loss in place. And then you also want, of course, to have auditing and monitoring, investigation of incident in place. So it's like, that's where we are going to get with the Purview, which is going to be main topic of actually today. And there is a real world example here. I pass it to Ben to talk about this one, and then I continue on the Purview side. Ben?
Yeah, great. I'll definitely share this story. And this is a real world situation. And I'll share shortly who this company is, unless someone wants to pop it in the chat if they know already. But Jane Doe, not real person's name, worked at company A and B, two Fortune 500 companies during 2012 and 2018. She used her privileged role in the company to request and collect proprietary information from multiple companies. Before she was laid off from company A, she attempted to transfer collected IP to an external hard drive, but it was blocked by the traditional endpoint DLP policy. Now, after a few days, she discovered a loophole that she could upload those files to a personal cloud storage without being blocked. So she managed to exfiltrate the data without being detected before leaving company A. Now, after leaving company A, she collected and infiltrated trade secrets to a personal cloud storage account and then downloaded it to her personal OneDrive. Now, when Jane suspected that one of her peers might report her, she tried to delete all the files and cover it up. She was fired from company B due to her risky activities detected by its security team, who also discovered the hard drive with all the trade secrets and submitted to authorities for investigations. During her employment in both companies, she planned to share and trade secrets with a foreign corporate partner to start her own company. In the end, she was convicted of conspiracy to commit economic espionage, to steal trade secrets, possession of stolen trade secrets, and wire fraud. Now, does anyone know who this company is? Coca-Cola. Now, this just an example and proves that traditional DLP policies are not enough to secure a company's most valuable data. Companies should combine their current practices with a dedicated insider risk program to detect this type of hidden risk to better protect their company's data. Now, Amir, if you could please take over and share a little bit more about Purview.
Yep, thank you. Yeah, this is a great example of how the insider risk can happen, and then you get the company data leaked from inside, right? Okay, let's talk about Microsoft Purview. It's a unified approach to secure and govern your data. With Microsoft Purview, we have three main pillars here: data security, data governance, data compliance. We focus on data security today, but the governance, think of like keeping, governing your data, retention of the data compliance, make sure that it's a communication is compliant, you meet the compliance requirements by the government or any standard you're following. A great example before jump onto data security, that previous attack, that communication was, threatening employees or colleagues. So think of that compliance can help you, because we can also monitor communication compliance, right? So now let's go back to data security. So when we talk about data overall, so we are not just talking about M365. So Microsoft Purview has a coverage around M365, Microsoft Copilot, data states, and then we have AI apps and agents. So all is covered. And it's not just Microsoft solution. If you have non-Microsoft solution, you can connect to them through data map, but we are not covering on that. But if you are interested, it's go beyond Microsoft solution, you can extend it to that. For the data security, the first thing you want to start is like, there are different products. So let's just say this way. We have three main products I'm going to talk about. One is information protection, Purview information protection. The next one is Purview data loss prevention, and then Purview information right management before getting to Purview for AI. So when we talk about how organization can protect, it was about discovery of the data, like classifying the data. So that's where the Purview information protection can help you. This is all about discovering and classifying your data at scale using automation, machine learning, or manually. Now, this gives you the labeling, give you protection, and and by itself, even if you don't do anything, it just gives you the discovery. You can go then you have the Explorer where you can see actually which data in your organization has sensitive information in it, because even if you don't define any sensitive information, it's already built into that. We have over 300 built-in sensitive info type, like financial information, Australian government, for example, the IDs like passport information, driving license, TFN, Medicare, all is there, so it's detected in your documents. And also, credit card or something like that. If it's not limited to that, if you want more than that, there is a lot of other things, like it's a machine learning trainable classifier is there, so it can be used. It's ready-made. You can create your own. And also, if you have like form, like you have superannuation form, right, you want to convert it to sensitive info type, you can just upload it and then use that as like classified information. And then what happened with MIP is at the end, what you get is you get all the labels published to your users. Label, if you haven't worked with it, most of you may already did, is think of like tagging your documents, like this file, this Excel file is confidential, this Word document is highly confidential, this Excel file is highly confidential, secret project, something like that. So think of that. So this is where MIP can help you: discovery, labels, and protection of the document at rest. So think of like, if we just Purview information protection, you can have protection for the documents, where if someone download 100 gigs of data as a data breach and then copy to USB and then get outside, you can go, this is not usable. I need the credential from someone inside the company to open it, right? See, easy, that's there, and this is the main benefit you get. And it's a core for all other features we are going to implement. Now we have labeling done, or we taken care of the labels and sensitive info type. We go to the next level, which is DLP. So we want to have now, based on the sensitive information type, like if the documents include this, if this text include this, right? For example, tax file number, this text include credit card number, this file includes superannuation form, right? So based on all of this, you want now define policy to take action on the endpoints, on the transport, on the application level, on the cloud. So for example, if someone copy these documents to the USB drive, they get blocked, right? They can't use endpoints to copy to personal bond drive, for example, or to Dropbox. And then someone emailing documents, which is confidential externally, and then on transport, this document is labeled, it cannot go there. So it's like you can have that policy in place by endpoint DLP. What's next? The next product here is insider risk management. So insider risk management, those insider scenario we mentioned, like someone leaving the company copying data, or someone trying to sell some company's secret on the, to competitors, for example, because someone suddenly started copying thousands of files to the USB drive, or removing a lot of files before, the user termination date is next week. Now user every day removing some files or copying to disk. Those type of activity trigger insider risk, and then we can quickly create policy. We have also quick policy there. You can quickly build it and then get visibility into those action. So it's also have HR integration, where you can also have link that expiry date of or termination date of the user to trigger something. So there is a lot of capability there. But what insider risk is like tagging users with risk level. Think of like in the conditional access and in identity, we say this user is risky because of this, because of the sign-in is risky or something. In this here, we are talking about data security from the insider activity, right? Okay, so now how all connected together? Before getting to DSPM for AI, so we talked about MIP, information protection, right? And then we talked about DLP, and then we talked about IRM, which is information insider risk management. So how they are connected together. So when you are going to have DLP policy to say, I want to block copying this to this drive or taking this action, so you may want to have policy based on the risk level, right? So you want to, instead of having protection, same protection across the board for all users, you want to have protection based on the insider risk level. So that's adaptive protection combined with endpoint DLP and information protection labels. You can say, okay, if the documents is confidential and the user risk level is at this level, and then you want to prevent users copying the files to USB. But the user is not risky, it's a moderate risk, for example. They can override and then write it, or if there is no risk, they can just do it. They just get notifications, something like that, right? So that's how these three works together. And this is just one example of how you can combine them together to get the best from the to protect your data. Now, we have we built a data security DSPM for AI. So it's like, because when we talk about AI, it's, think of this. When we talk about AI and then protecting data uploaded to AI, and then I want to prevent it, is going to be DLP, right? And when I'm going to say, okay, if we want to upload these confidential documents to the ChatGPT or Copilot or Microsoft 365 Copilot, again, this is DLP and MIP, because what happened is you are saying, I want to have protect this AI workload using this sensitive information type, which is defined in MIP, and I want to block it by DLP, and then I want to use the risk level of the user in IRM to say this action is taken on AI. So AI is just it's just about the destination or the source of information, right? It's not about it's not just separate product in Purview here. Of course, it's DSPM for AI help you with just focusing on the AI side. And when we talk about DLP in AI, so think of, we can also same apply to the social media, or it can be social, for example, you want to upload to WhatsApp, or you want to block that. It's same concept, right? It's just AI is just there to just focus, just the focus area. I'll quickly show you this again. I can't do the full demo. What I'm trying to do today is just show you how easy it is to get into this and get insight into about your data security, get the posture information, and then how you can quickly build some policy without impacting your users to collect those, right? Okay, so this is Purview, right? So you go to Microsoft Purview, purview.microsoft.com. Again, this is 45 minutes total session. I'm not going to go deep. It's when I say demo is not the full demo, it's just going to show one. If I show you one thing here, you can take from it today, one or two things. This is one of the one, right? One of the key one, because you just go there, and then the first thing is, where do I start, right? So where do I start? You just go for DSPM for AI. DSPM for AI, if you go to here, actually, you can see on the solution, we have DSPM for AI, and data security posture management is DSPM think of non-AI, but what happened at Ignite, we announced we are going to merge them together. So you are going to see maybe in January, DSPM for AI is the same. But if you go to DSPM for AI, so these action here you see are the one I already completed. So you can go there. There's no harm doing this. I highly recommend doing this because you want to purview audit. How? It's explain how. When you do that, it's marked complete. And then you need, for endpoint DLP, you need browser extension. So you don't forget this, right? It's like, okay, so this is if I'm doing all the DLP policy in place, but I forget browser extension, then there is something not going to work. So this is, again, it explained it, and then it has a link how you can do it through Intune or non-Intune model or like that. And then device has to be onboarded. If you have Defender onboarded, this is just one checkbox. If not, again, explain how you can onboard the device, right? That's it. So what you do here, you quickly have your environment ready for all the collection. And then what next is this one. You go to recommendation and then see which one you want. This is not going to block any action. It's just giving you the insight. So if the user is working in ChatGPT or going to Copilot and share some information there, it's going to collect. So you just go there and then select it. For example, if I say protect your data with sensitivity label, so it automatically create the label for me when I do that. So that's like, and then if there is just guidance, it just do that. So it's like all of this is going to be just the, you see it also give me the policy name. This is like, maybe it's a DLP policy. So
there's nothing for us to configure here. We just deploy it. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, simple as that. So you just go there and then select the one and see which one you want. Guidance assistance, even how you want to look at the logs, it's also, there is a guided assistance here. So this is great starting points. And then it's like, again, you are not blocking, but you get visibility how the user is working with ChatGPT or Copilot. And then what happened, when you do that, you can go to Activity Explorer. You can see all AI interactions. So if, for example, if I go, just give you one example here, like if the user is all the prompts and the response is going to be there. If it's like you want to block even using security information or credit card or tax file number in the prompt, you can do that. But by default, it's not going to block. It's going to be audit. So you get all those visibility. And also, I highly recommend look at, I'm not going to talk more on this one. You don't have time. Data risk assessment. This, I highly recommend run data risk assessment. It's nothing changed here. It's all it does is going to all your, SharePoints and then see which SharePoint is overly shared. And then it helps you to define, for example, or block oversharing by not sharing these label documents in the Copilot response. And I want to just give you example how important it is. Like, so if you have this in place, think of, so my colleague is working on a slide on, it's in a product is in incubation, right? Now, if I'm looking for any slide, in the past, I had to reach out, does anyone have this slide or where should I look at? There are many SharePoint sites. But now I go to Copilot and says, see who from my team is working on a slide which is related to this product, which is going to release in 6 months. So what happened, if I have access and this label is allowing this return to me, I can find it, right? But if you don't have the proper policy in place, think of someone copying somewhere else, and then and no one knows there, but Copilot can find it. So that's this assessment here help you to find those areas, right? It's critical.
One of the things that we were talking before about, Amir, is that you and the team have come up with this lightweight guide, because Purview is pretty heavy. There's a fair amount to it, but how do you get going? Now, you've got this good, better, best, and people, obviously, we don't have time to go through the whole thing, but it's a great way to get going. Start with good, move on and move on. Now, if you want to just talk a little bit about what good looks like, obviously the next slide talks about specifically what good looks like. And again, this slide's interactable, so you can click on this link and go straight into it straight away. But can you talk about, like, this is the base thing that you can do first. This is the basis of good. What does good look like?
That's actually a very important piece, because if you delay the project because you don't know where to start, I say just start with good. Think of this. If you want to take one recommendation, only one line from this, I say that's set default label, right? The default label, and then when I say how to get the default label set up and where you set the default label for, it's in the guide. So there is a link you can download, it's explained step by step for that. But what you try to do is like you have those labels for your business. Think of like, even if there is no label defined, internal, external, internal, general, confidential, highly confidential, general, like that, right? And then make sure all documents created today are confidential. And that means at least if I'm a CEO, I'm CFO, whoever I am, and I'm creating documents, saving it, there is default is internal. So if someone is going to share externally because that default is going to be blocked by DLP policy recommended in this, that cannot go out, right? So that's it. That's all I want. And then what if they want to send it? They downgrade the label, and then when they do that, they can add notes. This is why, and then it's going to be logged, and then they share it. So this means even you don't have full data security in place, you have a good starting points. And then when you have the label, you can use it in Copilot later. Don't return those data in the Copilot.
Here is the link to the guide. Highly recommend you get going on this. Reach out to us if you'd like to do this for you. We offer it as a service. Now, there is some things you can do inside of your environment now to get going. And many of our customers have Business Premium, but there's a new solution from Microsoft that's recently come out, and it's the Defender Suite product. So if your organization is under 300 employees, you can now take advantage of this advanced security and compliance product that Microsoft released. It's usually on the E5 licenses, but it's now available in Business Premium. And you can actually take advantage of two workloads. You can not only deploy Defender for Defender Suite for Business Premium, which is only $10 per user per month additional cost, but you can also now add on the Purview site as well, Purview Suite as well, which is another $10. Now, Microsoft are allowing you to combine those two together, so you can actually get the full M365 E5 suite of products delivered in Business Premium, which is a fantastic way to mature your security posture. Highly recommend you look into that if you have under 300. If you have over 300, we have a product for you that you might want to be interested in as well. Sorry, there's a link to an upcoming webinar that I'm doing specifically showing how you can protect your business inside of your ERP space, as an example. So in an upcoming webinar next week, I'll be talking through how people inside of Business Central, which is a product from Microsoft, can protect against PII, so that if any data does get exfiltrated, it gets redacted. A fantastic demonstration next week on that. And I talk about Purview as well. But we also have Exigo Tech have a new solution we call Exigo Protect. And we do take security very seriously. We are an ISO 27001 compliant company, and we're also working towards the next ISO 42001, which is on AI management systems. And we've built an offer which is highly secure, and we call it Protect. I normally have my Protect shirt on, but I don't today. From security compliance to identity and penetration testing, including security, consultations, and network security. This is our end-to-end security and governance solution to help you navigate this agentic world. Now, you can find more about it in this link. If you'd like to reach out to us, we'd be more than happy to talk to you on that. Or we also have assessments. We have a comprehensive set of security assessments from our Copilot assessments and Zero Trust security assessments. We have something for all types. Again, these links are available for you as well. And I do want to thank you and Amir for your time. We also will put this webinar on our YouTube site. If you're not registered, please think about subscribing. We'd love to see you there. Amir, thank you very much. Anthony in the background, as well as Renee, thank you very much for producing this webinar. Thank you. Have a great day.